Hello, Taurus. Oh, welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, and I'm going to jump right into an equinox reading for you for 2024. So we're talking about the spring equinox that's upon us here in the Northern Hemisphere, and in the Southern Hemisphere, it would be the autumn equinox. And again, these are messages for Taurus. So I spent some time meditating, and I'm just going to start plowing through everything I got. I have my notes here, so I'll be reading those off to you. And then at the end, we'll pull a tarot card for you as well. Okay, so the messages from Spirit. So your greater being, all of those sacred ancestors and deceased loved ones and the guides and the beneficial, your team, your tribe, your spirit team, and, my own intuition. So we're looking at all those energies blended together. I got a masculine feeling ancestor for you. The names that came up were, and keep in mind, these could be first names, last names, or variations of these names. We got Gregory, Jeffrey with a G, Grant, Ganesh, Gautam, Gavin, George, or Jorge, and Guillermo. So those were some of the names I got, and those could be meaningful to some of you. And then I was shown a Greek reference, like aggression feeling, like a past life that possibly you had. Mainly what I saw was a cluster of grapes, and it was like this beautiful, pristine cluster of grapes, okay? So I was seeing like the grapes with the cluster and the leaves, and it was very beautiful, like you see in the Greek art. So the sense I also got was that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So for some of you, that could be a heritage and ancestry that is important, or it's a past life connection. I got horse medicine for you. Oh, I love horses. Horseback riding, moving swiftly. So, or moving with something swiftly. So as you're going through the things that you have to do, especially anything to do with your passion that you are, it's like you've got your horse and you're riding a horse and you're riding through and you're breaking through obstacles and you're jumping over the hurdles and everything to do with going with momentum and swift momentum. So you had that kind of energy coming through. I also saw a domestic house cat. This could be a familiar for you. It had really big eyes. So if some of you have a cat with really big eyes, really big glowing eyes, definitely came up as something important and a familiar. And then I was also shown a dire wolf. So we're talking one of those extinct large wolf species. And I got the impression that you carry that strength as it was when they were at their most prolific in Earth's history, that you have this place in your pack. There may be some changes going on in the pack. There may have been some deaths or some loss or some rearranging of the pack order for you. And then of course, I got food, and I always see Taurus as the food magician. Many of you are amazing cooks and chefs and culinary experts. And the encouragement was for you to try a new recipe. Maybe don't measure, but just try something you're confident with, where you can just sprinkle in all the seasonings as you see fit. Cooking for your family. I also got the message of apples, and setting those up maybe around the perimeter of your house as a protective ritual of some kind. And then I was shown a key. Now this key didn't look to be an antique key or anything special. It's just a plain old key. So I don't know if that is a metaphor for you. I really didn't get much more on it except just seeing the key. And it was like your typical old house key. I don't know if you've lost your key. Because I kind of just came up with a question mark after that. So that could be it. You could have misplaced one of your keys, or you're looking for a key, or it could be the key to your heart. It could be a lot of different things. I have these really cool dice that I rolled, and one is a sign, one is a planet, and one is a number. And you got Scorpio for the sign. So you could have a Scorpio in your life. It could represent you working with water magic. It could represent you maybe being in a little bit of a heated space right now. Maybe some sort of release is needed for you. Scorpio is a pretty deep sign. So there's something that you've gone a little deeper into for this equinox season. The planet, interestingly enough, came up as the south node. So the north and south nodes are also on that dice. And I got that maybe you were lamenting over some past lessons And the encouragement was from Spirit, don't linger too long in those lamenting energies, because there is this swift movement that's also on the horizon for you. You got the number 5, which is change, variety, experimentation, and also feeling that you might be being tested. So here you are, you're Taurus, you're the domestic diamond, you love your home space, you like to set up your home space all nice and maybe try to change things up a little. Maybe try to rearrange your furniture, maybe redecorate something. Maybe you're in the process of doing that. Maybe there's some spring cleaning going on. So that number 5 comes in bringing variety and change. For some of you also, it could mean that you are being tested in some way or challenged in some way. Not necessarily a bad thing. Keep in mind, challenges are how we grow. Okay, I'm just going to shift this a little because I'm going to show you these cards here. Okay, so from the Herbcrafter's Tarot, you got the 4 of Pentacles, or the 4 of Earth, and you got the Willow. And let me just show you the picture there. The willow tree. And the message here was be more flexible. Be more flexible. And this really funny quote, I'm going to date myself here, but there was a funny quote from Ferris Bueller. Some of you might have seen that movie in the past, and he's talking about his friend Cameron, and he says, pardon my French, but Cameron is so tight that if you stuck a lump of coal up his ass, in 2 weeks you'd have a diamond. Okay, and so Taurus, I don't know what you might be holding on to or grasping onto too tightly. It could be your home space. It could be some control in your home space. It could be something like that, because I see you in that kitchen cooking. I see you doing things. You might not want people in your space, but the willow is coming in and encouraging you to be more flexible. This could also have to do with your resources. So you could be in a time of conserving your resources, and maybe then on the other hand, spending a little, but doing some like really thoughtful and wise spending. For some of you, this could be about weaving, because here you see like basket weaving and the willow branches, since they're so flexible and droopy, you can move them all kinds of ways. I also got the message for some of you that it's about honoring your roots. So creating a space, taking up your space, like don't be afraid to be big in your space, and to really like focus on being that big presence in your own energy, in your own space. Now, I also saw for some of you, this might be a little something, the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter. It's kind of a brutal tree, you know, that'll get you when you're trying to like go inside or whatever. So that might be meaningful to some of you. And then the other card I got from the Spirit de la Lune was the Capricorn energy here. This is a number 40 card. So you had the number 4 of Earth. So that's 4, and a number 4 here. Also, you could be 40. Or you can be having that milestone birthday. Happy birthday if that's you this year. And it says the Achiever. And for this, I got a big like security focus, because you have this 4 of Pentacles. So all to do with your focus about security, finances, stability, refining your goals, reprioritizing possibly, and a real focus on your career goals, because Capricorn is that hardworking energy. Okay, Taurus, let's get you a tarot card. I just fired through all those messages really quick. If any of those resonated, you'll have to let me know in the comments. Definitely tell me how it went and if anything stood out to you. And because this is a new, kind of a new thing I'm doing here, a new style. Whoa, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. You're throwing out too many cards, but this one was the one that landed up for me and kind of stuck out. So we'll go with it. The 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands, it is a swift moving energy. So remember, I got the horses for you, and I could see the horses and horseback riding and kind of that swift pace. That's the 8 of Wands. Sometimes as a Taurus, you might not be used to this. It might kind of be kicking up your stability a little bit. But you're being encouraged again. Remember, be flexible with the willow, thinking about the willow branches and being as flexible as you can, working with that water magic. Willows are often found like close to a river or water source too. They can be out in the prairie as well, but they like that water, and they like to be by water as well. And they draw up the water, and then their beautiful heavy branches just kind of come down. And I got that energy of you just taking up space. So there's a lot going on for you with this equinox, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I can't wait to see you next time.